Mr. Speaker, I wanted to clarify that the matter before the House is not a disagreement of anyone. It is a motion that has been tabled by Honorable Mutuse that has 8 counts, 11 grounds. Mr. Speaker, we are discussing a motion that contains 11 grounds. We are not discussing any disagreements of anyone with his wife, with his boss, with his children, with his mother, with his uncle, with his cousin, with his farmer, with his cook. We are not discussing those things.
If the Deputy President did not agree with the decision of Cabinet on the finance bill, he ought to have held his peace and his tongue or resigned as a member of the Cabinet. There is no two ways about it. And furthermore, by the mere fact of holding a presser at a time when the country was in crisis, when the President has addressed the nation, he went on to have his own one-man show of a presser. That is the greatest definition of gross misconduct. It is pure insubordination. No one can do that. During the rally in Githurai, Nairobi, which was presided over by the Deputy President, with some members of Parliament present, he was involved in leading chants that said, Ruto must go. Ruto is a one-term president. He never denounced those statements. What that amounts to is that he is guilty of treason and other allied offenses. That is the Penal Code, Section 40.
If anything happens right now, as we are going to, if we impeach the Deputy President as we want to, as we need to, the position can be filled even without an IBC. But if there is no president and there is no Deputy President, only the Speaker can act for 60 days. Within those 60 days, there must be an election. We cannot currently have an election because we have no IBC. If you say, kufa dereva, kufa makanga, you want absolute turmoil for all the Kenyans to die in that accident. That would be a very reckless act.
People of any nation are stronger than the people in power. All leaders in this nation must be responsible of the utterances. All of us must be responsible not to give hate speech anywhere we go. And I don't think there is a tribe in Kenya that is superior than others. Whether you come from Eastern in Garissa or you come from Siamahanga village where I live, you are equal. Article 27, Section 4 is clear about this, that we should not discriminate.
Nataka niseme ile kuzungumzia kuhusu NIS ilikuwa ni grave mistake. Wamekosea sana. Afadhali angetaja Nurdin kama akona shida naye kuliko institution ya NIS. Ni kutufanya sisi tukae dhaifu katika maadui zetu. Kwa mfano Al-Shabaab wataona vipi sisi kama tuko weak.
The Kenya Kwanza administration, through Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, has taken the challenge, with the DP announcing that he will file a petition this week.
Amechallenge sisi tutoe ushahidi. I will lead by example. On Thursday, this coming week at 2:15, I will personally present a petition before Lady Chief Justice Martha Koome against Justice Esther Maina for her removal from the judiciary for misconduct and corruption. Mimi mwenyewe nitaongoza. Serikali ni kampuni na ni ya shares. Sindio? Ni ya shares. Kuna wenye kampuni, wale wako na shares mingi, kuna wale wako na chache, kuna wale hawana. Sasa nyinyi muli invest kwa hii kampuni ya William Ruto na Rigathi Gachagua. Sasa lazima mvune. Yule ambaye alipanda atafanya nini? Simulipanda? Simuliamuka mapema? Mukasema mutaki kusikia mambo ya ile system na nini? Muka invest, mukapanda, mukapalilia, mukaweka mbolea, mukamwagilia maji, wakati ya kuvuna ndio huu. Na itakuwa namna hiyo.
We will not lead him in evidence, nor will he be cross-examined, but he's ready to be cross-examined when we go to Senate. He averts that when he was appointed as an acting CEO of KEMSA, and he came to office, he found the tender ongoing, and one day the deputy president called him, threatened him, so that he could release a bid bond. In his testimony, he says that a company that was being fronted by the deputy president, if you allow me just to get where the, because this is important, at page 70 to 76, at page 70 to 76, the deputy president did take oath and swore to protect and uphold the Constitution. I have demonstrated in all the particular incidences above that he has not lived up to the calling in the oath of office. And therefore, I'm calling this House to find that the deputy president has not been upholding the Constitution and has run averse to his oath of office in terms of his conduct as highlighted above in the allegations that I have already proven. So all you need is to believe. All you need is to believe that he has committed crimes. All you need in law is to believe that Rigathi Gachagua has committed crimes. That is the threshold. If in your mind you believe that Rigathi Gachagua, by the narration that I'm going to give, has committed crimes, then you vote in the affirmative. If anything, and God forbid, happens to the president who is in power today, is this the man you would want to complete the term as president? I urge you, honorable members, as one of your colleagues, when this motion is finally put to vote, please vote to impeach Rigathi Gachagua. Please vote to impeach Rigathi Gachagua on all the grounds.
When the deputy president visited Kathiani, he said to the Honorable Mbui that these Kambas are too few. They can never make a president. Kalonzo can never be anything. How can you defend a person who has disdain for Kalonzo Musyoka, a former vice president of this country, Mbui?
Mr. Speaker, I only wish that the energy that we are expending here to send a question to all Kenyans about one individual was being used to fight the issues that are failing us in our education, in our health sector. People here, the cost of living has gone too high. People have no jobs. Mr. Speaker, those are the things that this House should passionately deal with. And I'm telling you, Mr. Speaker, actions speak louder than words. The deputy president may have said that he is a shareholder and there are issues about his community, but if you look at the appointments that are being made in Kenya, then you will realize that the person of the president himself is the one who is the biggest troublist, Mr. Speaker, because he's appointing people from his own community for every position. Mr. Speaker, if we have to find a situation where a school has failed, you do not fire the deputy principal. You get rid of the principal.
Mr. Speaker, I want to tell you, as a member of Parliament Mavoko, I have spoken the word Kenya many times, more than the deputy president of this country. All what I've been hearing is Murima, 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 Murima. Mr. Speaker, today I want to tell Kenyans, Mr. Speaker, the same deputy president came to Machakos and he said the Kamba votes are very little, they cannot bring in a president. He went ahead and said the Kamba votes, Kitui, Machakos and Makueni combined are less than 1 million. I want to remind the deputy president that the Kamba vote is more than 3 million. I want to remind him that Kamba nation produced Gay who took care of Kenyatta in prison. That same Kamba nation produced Munyao Kisoi.
Is it a situation where a thief was being sent to court to catch another thief? This is a situation. Honorable Speaker, this country has much more serious issues than what we are discussing. Kenyans have said that, Kitui Sendo in particular has said, kufa makanga, kufa ndereva, kufa mechanic, because Kenyans are more serious issues. And when they die, we want a new renewal of this country, Honorable Speaker. This idea of mob justice, we are not going to allow it in this country. Kenyans have more serious things. I oppose, Honorable Speaker.
If there was dialogue with a former Prime Minister, there was handshake with a former Prime Minister, why not give dialogue to even the Deputy President? So give dialogue, give reconciliation for the peace of this country. What the people of Kitui West told me is that they have more pressing issues. They have more pressing issues than impeachment.
Honorable Speaker,
I want to say that we do not have two centers of power in the Republic of Kenya. We only have one president, and the sentiments of Rigathi Gachagua that they were elected together with President William Ruto is a lie.
I support that the deputy president be given the opportunity to serve this country, and those that are attacking the deputy president for working on behalf of the Mount Kenya region, they must also accept that everybody has a village where they come from, everybody has a home where they come from, and every good thing starts from Jerusalem, just like Jesus Christ did. Asanteni sana, and I refuse. The deputy president is going nowhere. He's going to stay here to serve us. To serve us as we gave him votes.
That journey. Honorable Speaker, I'm of the opinion that when we have our two senior most gentlemen in this republic having such kind of a disagreement or an issue that is a misunderstanding, we should seek the way of reconciliation.
Our dear viewers, the Speaker's procession is already in the chamber this afternoon. The Sergeant at Arms carrying the mace, closely followed by the Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Moses Wetangula, are in the chamber ready to ensure that this business goes on seamlessly. My name is Gladys Mungai, and allow me to hand you over for this live broadcast brought to you
by jamii na utawala haki wanadamu. Tukusihi utazame kwa neema nyingi sisi watumishi wako ambao wameridhika kutuita ili tutekeleze shughuli muhimu za jamhuri yetu. Tunakuomba uteremshie baraka zako sisi tuliokutanika hapa, na utujalie tuyatende na kufikiria mambo yote atakayofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili utukufu na sifa zako siendelezwe, na ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi yetu na wale ambao hajasawa wamesikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amen. Members, we have quorum. We'll proceed. Clerk.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
The Senate. Honorable members, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 41-4, I wish to report to the House that I have received 2 messages from the Senate regarding its decision on 2 bills, namely the...
Mr. Speaker, the Article 132 of the Constitution of Kenya provides that the President will every year give a report to this House on the steps taken to implement Article 10.
Mr. Speaker, from the onset, allow me to give thumbs up for one Honorable Ekomas Mwengi Mutuse
Yes, Farah.
Mr. Speaker, I was standing.
Order.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for this. The mood in the House is such that it's already 5. And Honorable Speaker, it's my...
Asante Bwana Spika. Bwana Spika, umoja wa taifa ni muhimu sana, na vile ilivyofanyika na naibu wa rais ilionekana kwamba hakuna umoja. Nataka ieleweke kwamba watu wa mlima wanaishi sehemu zingine. Kule kwangu Kiunga niko na watu wa mlima, na kile wanachoona zaidi ni sand dunes. Hawaoni mlima, wanaona bahari. Nataka niseme ile kuzungumzia kuhusu
Now His Excellency the Deputy President is in the chamber, and he is accompanied, I believe, by his legal team or assistants. We will now move to the next stage. You remember I had advised the House. You may start by addressing that.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
That you exercise your conscience to hold as to whether this is a theater of the absurd or is an honorable National Assembly of the Republic of Kenya. You may start by addressing that.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And thank you, the honorable members present, for according me this opportunity to prosecute the matter before us. Mr. Speaker, sir, I have tremendous respect for this great institution. Having served here for 5 years between 2017 and 2022, and I appear here in a very nostalgic moment that I'm back in the House where I stayed for 5 years, despite the fact that I've come under difficult circumstances. Mr. Speaker, maybe the sound people, is that okay now? Mr. Speaker, sir, and the honorable members, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity.
I hope, Your Excellency, you have been advised by your lawyers that you are here to respond to specific issues.
And I appear here in a very nostalgic moment that I'm back in the House where I stayed for 5 years, despite the fact that I've come under difficult circumstances. Mr. Speaker, maybe the sound people, is that okay now? Mr. Speaker, sir, and the honorable members, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity.
I hope, Your Excellency, you have been advised by your lawyers that you are here to respond to specific issues.
Yes.
In the motion.
I have my advice.
And not to talk generally.
I know.
Yeah, so rules of relevance will still apply to you as they apply to all members.
Mr. Speaker, the motion before this great House alleges that 2 years ago, since acquired property and wealth whose estimated value of 5.2 billion shillings. So a decision has been made that Rigathi Gachagua is no longer useful to this administration. He is a spent cartridge. His work was to help fight Uhuru Kenyatta and get President William Ruto to power. And thereafter, he is of no use. So he should be dispensed with, and somebody else can be appointed against the will of the Kenyan people. No company owned by my children has ever done business with the government, and I'm demanding for proof from the Honorable Mutuse or anybody else linking the Rigathi Gachagua family with business deals with the Kenya government. I agreed with my children that they do business with the private sector, do farming, and run the family business that I bequeathed them. I did not threaten to bring any action against Justice Minor. I did bring action against her. I was just informing the public because I'm a public officer and I have freedom of speech. I have filed a petition before the Judicial Service Commission against Justice Esther Maina in issues I felt I did not get proper justice. So I did not threaten her. I did what the law says. I cannot, I will not oversee, supervise, forced, brutal eviction against the people of Kenya. That I will not, and I can't. President William Ruto and I on the campaign trail gave a solemn undertaking to the people of Kenya that under our administration, that will never happen. If that is the reason why Rigathi Gachagua should be impeached as Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya and sent home for refusing to undermine the Constitution, for saying no to brutal and inhuman eviction of poor Kenyans, let it be. Overturning the will of the people is not a joke. It calls for very serious violation of the Constitution. None of these issues here meets the threshold. When I called this press conference, there was a lot of speculation that Rigathi Gachagua wants to resign. This is a man elected by 7.2 million Kenyans. How dare you suggest to him that he can do so without public participation? I have no intention whatsoever to resign from this job. I'll fight to the end. I have tremendous respect for our judiciary and the professional judges of the High Court, the Court of Appeal, and the Supreme Court. And in the professional manner they have handled serious issues affecting Kenya. The impeachment of a deputy president elected by 7.2 million Kenyans is not a small matter that can hastily be decided by a few members of parliament and senators and wish it away. I'll submit myself to independent institutions to get justice. And I'm sure, I have no doubt in my mind that I'll get justice. And this impeachment will be thrown out. And I'll carry out my duties as Deputy President. That is why anybody sending feelers to me to resign is a joker.